Well, if you think that Rue Bennett's running all over the streets to escape intervention was the most intense Euphoria scene ever, you better be ready to digest this one. Euphoria is cruel and is definitely a pill you can't swallow easily. Maddy, played by the actress Alexa Demie, went through a lot in the 6th episode of Season 2 of the show. Keep watching this video to find out what the actor had to say about the traumatic episode. So, what went down with Alexa Demie in Euphoria? If you haven't watched the episode, we should already warn you that there are major spoilers ahead. Well, in Euphoria, we've got complex high school-going characters each battling their own issues. No character is perfect, and who even had the perfect life in high school? None of us, for sure. Also, remember, all of us had an oh-so-cute couple in high school that somehow ended up as prom king and queen? How much we despise them, right? So such is a couple we have in Euphoria that could actually become that. We all know them as Nate and Maddy. But the couple isn't all perfect and romantic as we remember such fallen-over-the-heels kind of couples in rom-coms. Nate, played by the very dreamy Jacob Elordi, is struggling with issues from family, sexuality, and his girlfriend Maddy. Nate and Maddy have a pretty complicated relationship. They're kind of an on-and-off-again kind of relationship that is more toxic than romantic. Now you get the background, right? When Season 2 started, we found out that Nate hooked up with Maddy's best friend Cassie. It's an unsaid rule that you can't date your girlfriend's best friend, even when she is your ex. That's treason, dude. And who actually found this secret relationship? It was our very own Rue, played by Zendaya. All eyes were on Maddy if she would revenge this affair by leaking Nate's father's sex tapes, in which he was having sex with a fellow student, Jules. That could destroy Nate's family reputation. But something happened in episode 6 of the 2nd season that we sure weren't expecting to happen in the episode. Nate snuck into Maddy's bedroom and held her at gunpoint. Whoa! After asking her for the CD, Nate empties the gun of bullets and appears to put one into the gauge. Then he lays on top of her and pulls the trigger on her once, which was thankfully empty. Oh god, our breath. He then pulls it on himself several times as a way to blackmail her. Again, all empty. Maddy is incredibly distressed, and how not so? She ends up telling Nate that the CD is in her bag. Nate grabs the CD and leaves the room, but not before glimpsing Maddy crying her eyes out on her bed, clearly traumatized from this experience. Talking about this traumatic scene, Alexa Demie said that it was not an easy scene to film. She said that it's just traumatic that someone who you thought you're madly in love with walks into your bedroom and threatens the shit out of you with a gun pointed at your head. Alexa confessed that the scene was the most difficult one she'd ever filmed for Euphoria. Speaking of the difficult scene, Alexa said that when the crew takes a break to set lights or something, as an actor you cannot break the scene. She had to stay in her character and tune everything out, even when everyone else was laughing or joking. And if you think that the scene was shot a few hours, so no, that wasn't the case. Alexa said that the scene was not only emotionally difficult, as her ex-boyfriend pointed a gun at her face, but also because it was shot in a particular way. They had to move with the camera movements, and it was really messed up. It took them 2 whole days to shoot. It was basically all they did all day on those days. We can imagine the hard work put behind that scene. Also, while you'll expect that there was constant back and forth planning behind this extremely difficult scene, it was actually the opposite. Alexa revealed that they were short on time, so the cast and crew had pretty much just jumped into it and figured things out along the way. The creator of Euphoria, Sam Levinson, was exploring new things with the camera, and Jacob and Alexa were trying to understand the changing dynamic between them. There were some moments that were improvised, but not a lot of homework or conversation before shooting this scene. Honestly, a product coming out of just jumping into things was quite amazing. Alexa also talked about her hopes with the character Maddy and her toxic relationship. She said that she liked where her character Maddy was heading. In Season 2, she's a bit more complex. Maddy is incredibly strong, but she's also vulnerable. She had a duality to her character, and the audience will really get to see those two sides of her. Nate was somebody Maddy was extremely close to for a very long time, and maybe for a split second, Maddy Maddy thought that the whole gun pointing was actually a joke, and he could never go as far as to shoot Maddy. Alexa said that she was hoping that Maddy's character would evolve without her life revolving around Nate, and we kind of see that she's headed in that direction. Also, there were other storylines about how Maddy would do the CD. Alexa said that previously, the creators thought to have Maddy return the CD to Jules with a letter, maybe anonymously. There were a lot of variations, but they were eventually written off in favor of this epic scene. What went down between Nate and Maddy in the 6th episode of Season 2 proves one thing. This is not love. Even if Maddy believes that she loved Nate, it has to end after this twisted scene. Euphoria may try to show that when people believe they're in love, they do crazy stuff, but love does not and should not ever involve abuse. We have a lot of questions on how Maddy would move on from here. Will she gather the courage to tackle Nate? Would she fall into a deep, deep depression? How would Nate react when he realizes that he's done wrong? Or would he ever realize? Guess we'll have to wait. Now, in other related Euphoria news. While we're on the topic of Euphoria, let's discuss some other news that is coming out of the deep and twisted show. Zendaya was scared of her escape episode in Euphoria. Zendaya, who plays Rue Bennett on the show, is a 17-year-old girl struggling with drug abuse. In the episode named Stand Still Like the Hummingbird, Rue tried to escape her family intervention after they discovered that she'd relapsed and was taking drugs again. As her mother tried to take her to rehab, Rue dodged traffic and outran the police as she desperately tried to find and fund her addiction. Talking about this super intense episode, Zendaya opened up that she was scared to tackle this intense episode because while she knew that she was acting, her body and brain considered the trauma as real. If you watch the episode, you know that it had all the elements to make us grab our sofa's seat. Next, Euphoria insiders speak in favor of the working conditions. It was not long ago when the Daily Beast published a number of reports that claimed that while the show was successful, it had some pretty toxic production and behind-the-curtains drama that was really messed up. HBO did not sit quietly about such allegations. The network responded that they've always taken care of the cast and crew's well-being. Drama shoots do get complex, but the shooting was going on following all the COVID protocols. At Film Independent Spirit Awards, Coleman Domingo and consultant Jeremy O. Harris, both Euphoria insiders, offered their take on the Daily Beast reports. Harris said that people couldn't actually digest that shows with problems of Black people can actually get this popular, and when they actually do, they always try to pick a plot hole or an awfully wrong thing. Domingo also echoed the same sentiment when he said he had always seen love whenever he visited the sets. The food, rests, and entire schedules are always taken into consideration, and he doesn't know where such words were coming from. Lastly, Euphoria star Barbie Ferreira says that the on-set's conflict news is not true. Barbie Ferreira, who plays the high schooler Kat, is a legend on Tumblr thanks to her erotic fanfiction. Although Kat is quite reserved in her daily interactions, she literally had grown into an online dominatrix on Tumblr. She had only a few scenes and dialogues. News has claimed that this was because Ferreira walked off the set of Euphoria after having an argument with the creator Sam Levinson, and Kat's role was reduced as a result. Barbie denied all such rumors and said that the fans are really passionate as the show has really impacted so many people. Sometimes things take on a life of their own and they have no basis with the truth, but it's fine because this is done just out of love and curiosity. And that's a wrap for this video. So what was your reaction to watching the episode? What would be Nate and Maddy's dynamic from now on? Do let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and click the subscribe button for more videos like this. See you in the next one.